When I was in France for the first time, in the capital of Paris, I sat in one of these beautiful, small, funny street cafes, which are covered in glass so that the sun looks in nicely, so the sun stood in the sky and showed her face. It was a beautiful April day, and she laughed and sent her golden streets to us on Earth, where we humans live. Cloud. Empty was the sky, all blue. A few small feather clouds had joined, and a gray rain front covered the sky, so that the sun hardly looked through. Nevertheless, the September day was good. Snow-covered roofs bent under their load, but the sun did its mightiest and said practically, "Here I am, snow, go away." The snow tried to melt, but it was freezing cold. The December sky had a deep blue, and it was very beautiful. The weather was radiant. A radiant one summer day. I sat there and watched the street at the cafe, one of the most beautiful and largest streets in Europe. It starts on a Trump bow and ends at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Frenchman affectionately calls the street Sassilies. I watched the hustle and bustle on the street. There were cars, trucks, bicycles, mopeds, trucks. All cars lead in directions, to the left and right, and back on the other side. Bow off in side streets, and other cars came into the street from side streets. It was a colorful hustle and bustle in, bustle and bustle in. June, that can hardly be described. The traffic was very good. Pedestrians were also there. It was a picture for me that I just looked at. I was sitting for maybe 20 or 30 hours and had repeatedly shouted gazong. He then came and brought the delicious national dish that the Frenchman always gets to wake up in the morning, namely Cabant, Shane. It's a very delicious drink, you just have to know how to make it. In France, it is a very personal matter to drink a coffee there. It is fried upright in the pan, then it is particularly strong and tastes very spicy. Delicious coffee. Delicious coffee. He was brought to me. I had poured maybe 129 or 220 of the delicious Cabanchinen into my left ventricle. When my eyes turned black, I leaned over, bit into the tablecloth, and tore it with the external incisor tooth with me, which shattered on the marble floor. Tatu-tata, tatu-tata, a hospital car drilled through the capital. In front of the street cafe where I was lying, he made black welts on the street with the brake. The car stopped. 2 men in green coats and slippers fell out and took me on the stretcher. A big crowd had already arrived and looked in my direction. Many people stretched in all skin. Color their umbrellas, because it was raining cats and dogs. I lay there and didn't know about anything. They had me in the car, plugged in the back. The driver closed the door, banged and ran forward. Banged and ran forward. Driver's door open. Hop, driver inside and on the seat on it. And then he has the foot so that the floor with the accelerator pedal is a formed unity. The car went at a speed away that you haven't seen it properly more. In a high speed, which was very good. We drove out Paris out to another city, to another country directly next to Paris. A district, a suburb, cliché. There I had quiet days. I woke up in a recovery room. Next to me stood a sister in health slippers. She said to me on French, Jarbali de Charmoni de Prolzone Conchante, Ches truck. Mademoiselle de la Coco, et le Pejum de piano de popo. Avec de la Chantal de la Moise et de la Cloque, ratapat de la Chantale, what in German means. Mr. Schneider, you have introduced a pacemaker get built. In an operation lasting 900 hours, I had a pacemaker. Without that, I had noticed something about it. That's exactly 2 years ago. The battery can end at any moment. It could have happened yesterday. It can happen tomorrow. Ren. But don't worry, I have a spare battery with me. Out of gratitude to all French people, especially to the medical team of gynecologists who helped me, I wrote a song in my second native language from then on, namely French. The song has been imitated by many, especially in the French-speaking room, from Belgium and Luxembourg, the Benelux countries, Holland, Netherlands, Switzerland.